And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of 2000 Atmospheres LE, we have the Peruvian Terran player. He's red, representing Eximius Gaming. It is Kaozfate. Meanwhile, spawning in the top right-hand corner for the very first time here on the CranKy Ducklings, this guy just took down Bombilla. My oh my, I did not expect that, by the way, in round number 1. It is the Peruvian Protoss. It is Dijovi. Or Dijovi. I don't know. Oh. Alright, let's go. For those wondering, again, if you look at the bracket, Bombilla faced this guy in the first round, and it went all the way to the ace match. And Bombilla, he's a very solid player. He's more of a mid-tier player in the Latin American region, and I expected him to advance on in the bracket, but he didn't, surprisingly enough. This Masters Protoss came out of nowhere and took him out. And Darking, the admin of the tournament, messaged me, and he told me, hey, he did so using DTs. So I'm like, okay. He's that kind of Protoss player. He's dirty, all right. I love it. I dig it. So now I'm a little bit worried for Kaozfate. Kaozfate, he's a very solid player. He's one of the best Terrans in Latin America. We call him Latin American Bjorn, baby Bjorn, if you will. He's very young. I believe he's 18 years old. And he is so good when it comes to his macro and his micro. Like, again, like, give this man some Marines and he can make some magic happen. It's beautiful. In my mind, he's kind of like the future of Terran in the Latin American region. Kaozfate alongside Yanji from Brazil. Very good players. Very young as well. So honestly, I expect much from him. He did make it to the closed qualifiers of Latin America, but he didn't make it to the main event, unfortunately. He had a bit of an unlucky bracket. He faced Ryu. he went up against Ryu in the closed qualifier. So yeah, he didn't have the best of times, but again, he's a very capable player of making it that far in the DreamHack circuit. At least that's what I believe. So we'll see how he does here. Again, arguably one of the favorites of this entire tournament. I would say definitely the strongest Terran player in today's bracket. And we'll see if he can get past this newcomer, this new Protoss player. Protoss player already being cheeky, going for that gas steal. I love it. Just being a little bit annoying. Meanwhile, the Reaper does get across the map. He will get one probe already. The Stalker a little bit late finally comes out. And Kaozfate will escape. Already getting some value there, already scouting his opponent, confirming the gas counts, confirming the opening. He didn't see the Twilight Council behind the natural though. Oh, sorry, behind the mineral line. So Kaozfate is a little bit in the dark. Isn't quite sure if it's a Stargate or a Twilight Council opening. But he will make his way. Oh, actually doesn't opt to go into the main base. Doesn't risk it as another Stalker pops out. And we'll see how this goes, as we do have a 1-1-1 opening here from Kaozfate. I imagine we're going to be seeing a medevac on the way here. There's no tech labs, so we don't have a Banshee opener. There's no Widowmines either, so there's no Widowmine drop. There we go, we do have a medevac, and Kaozfate, he's going to be going across the map with his Marines and his Hellions. Again, a very aggressive opener. There's not a lot of tech to this, but it hits very early, and this can catch your opponent. It can catch the Protoss off guard if they don't have units ready for this. Oh boy. Oh boy, indeed. Meanwhile, Sound in the chat, don't talk about dirty Protoss. You're like, yo, if all Protoss are dirty, are they really dirty? Or are they just Protoss? True. I agree, Sando, I agree. Kappa. Meanwhile, here we go. Kaozfate is sending his army across the map again. Hellions getting ready to dive into the natural, drop getting ready to go into the main base, and oh god, our Protoss player, he's got a handful of Stalkers and he's got a shield battery, but again, we'll see if he can split up his army. We'll see if he can respond to all of this aggression. As his drop is sneaking into the mineral line, Dijovi, he responds, and that's going to leave his base open to these Hellions. Marines, they drop in, they try to focus down the pylon. They do get a little bit of damage off. Meanwhile, the Hellions dive into the natural. Oh my god, the probes are going down. 7 already, 9 do fall in the end. A couple more even. And as this is happening, the drop comes back in. Marines focusing down even more probes. Ay, ay, ay. Blink is done, by the way. Ooh, and will he? Oh. He will not get the medevac. It escapes with his life and 14 probes fall. Oh my god, Kaozfate, so greedy. All army hockey, question mark? Medevac, no, where are you going? Oh my god. Kaozfate, that wasn't a liberator. You can't just siege it up in all army. That was such a good opening from Kaozfate, but losing that medevac was a little bit rough there. He's still ahead, but not as ahead as he could have been. Feels bad, man. Meanwhile, Kaozfate, he scans, confirms that there is no third base, confirms that we still have a 2-base Protoss here that he's facing, and now he's getting ready for the counterattack. He knows Blink is done, right? He was able to see that earlier against his medevacs, and now he has his tank in his main and his natural. Oh my god, he even takes down the Observer. Beautifully done here. Now Dijo needs to rely on his War Prism for that high ground vision. There's still a lot of potential here. He could dive in. Could just send it. God. He does blink in. Ooh, one shots the third base. Oh, goes for the recall though. We'll lose 3 Stalkers. But honestly, 3 Stalkers for a kill on the 3rd CC? That's pretty worth it. That's not bad. That's not bad at all. Meanwhile, doubling down on this, throwing down a robotic space, we can get into his Colossus, I imagine. Yep, there we go. Colossus are on the way. We're going to see extended thermal lance. What's surprising to me is that after a move like that, I feel like the Protoss should expand. We should see a 3rd base here. The fact that we don't is a little bit worrisome to me. Because the army is pushing out here for Kaozfate. Oh, and Dijo is not in position. He's not at home, and recall was just used. Remember, people, recall is on cooldown. He can't come back home. He's going for the base raid. He shows up. There's no tanks here. Marines and Marauders are going to go down. Meanwhile, Kaozfate, he's committing to this attack. He does not turn around. And these Stalkers, they're going to take a while to really push through. Meanwhile, oh boy, Kaozfate, he's also pushing into the natural base. Colossus comes out just in time. One Colossus is pretty good. Is it going to be enough though? Meanwhile, the natural base of Kaozfate is basically forfeit. Oh, he's going to try and fight with these SCVs and Marines. And I mean, he's trading. He's cleaning this up. Oh, and that is not good news. That is not good news for Dijo, because he just lost his natural. And there's not a lot in the main. Again, recall is still not available. The Stalkers have to come all the way back home. And Kaozfate is making his way up this ramp. Meanwhile, the Stalkers could try and go for a surround. But Kaozfate, he leapfrogs into the main base. He's going to be able to siege up. The tank is exposed. Tank is exposed. Colossus is exposed, I meant to say. Meanwhile, the tank on the low ground does get picked off. Kaozfate, he's in a way being pulled apart, but there's just not a lot here to protect these Colossus. Robo falls. No more Colossus in production here. There are only 2 remaining for Dijo. He's even supply blocked right now. Pulls the boys. Pulls everything to try and hold on. And it looks like he will not be able to here. GG gets called. And Kaozfate takes game number 1. Ooh, GG. Kura redeeming. Ay, ay, ay. Oh, okay. Alright, so it looks like the map will be Romanticide. as we just set some things up here. Asking the players if they are ready, and then we can go. Yeah, what a game one. There was some highs, there was some lows. But Kaozfate is still the favorite. Again, it's on Dijovi to try and do something cheeky here against his opponents. Yo, Neo Shaggy was able to pull it off. Maybe our Protoss can as well. So we are diving into game 2. Oh, meanwhile, thank you for the follows. Elvis Armiento. Thank you, thank you. And let me just, I want to see if I can check the match arena here as we are getting into game number 2 and spawning in the top left-hand corner of Romanticide LE. We have the Peruvian Protoss. He is blue, representing himself. This guy, he is teamless, but he's here competing, and it is Dijovi. Or if you're English, Dijovi. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Romanticide LE, we have the Peruvian Terran representing Eximius Gaming. It is Kaozfate. Fun fact, this guy is awful with his IDs because he just has so many of them, and he uses a different ID for his in-game name. He uses a different ID for the ESL bracket, for the Matcherino page, for Challenge, for Twitch. It's awful. But for those wondering what Cruz is, his IRL name is Gerald Cruz. So Cruz is his last name, and the Yi is for Gerald. Sometimes he changes his in-game name to Gerald or Y Cruz. Like that's where that comes from. 'Tis his name. Meanwhile, I wanted to give a massive shout out. There's a reason why I checked the Matcherino page. Thank you so much, Lord Loken, for boosting the prize pool by 50 USD. Oh my god. 50 USD, essentially doubling the prize pool, I believe. Thank you so much. I'm sure the players, they appreciate it. No, the tournament organizers appreciate it. We appreciate it. Thank you so much, Lord Loken, for supporting the tournament, supporting the Latin American community, as you always do. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Again, !! Mantrino in the chats. If you will to add $1 for free using that coupon code. I believe there are still a couple of coupon codes left. So we do appreciate it if you're able to do that. As we are getting into game 2, and so far, pretty standard opening from Chaos, going for that factory opener. Nothing crazy, no 2 or 3 racks opener here from Kaozfate. Guy in the chat, unbind F2. There are uses for F2 now and again, but when you're a drop heavy player like Kaozfate, I agree. Like F2 it's your worst nightmare. Yeah. I know there are some Terran players who do use it, and you can tell because when they go for Liberator harass, they siege up their Liberators in corners and stuff, so they don't get pulled away, which is a nice little like micro trick that you can do. That's also why Protoss. That's also why they introduced the siege mode for the Observer and the Overseer, so you can siege them up and still all army hotkey and not pull them away, so they can still stay in position. Fun fact, by the way. Fun fact. There's a reason why that was introduced to the game. Otherwise, if you're all army hotkey, then all the Observers and all the Overseers just come with you. So it's just some quality of life things that they did. Meanwhile, here we go. Oh, this is I say here we go. This is a very fast robo and a very fast robotic spay. Oh my god. I kind of love this because obviously we're talking about Romanticide. It's the largest map in the map pool, and if your opponent is going to be pretty macro focused and not be ultra aggressive, then you can get away with fast Colossus. Like, it's a way to just be so greedy with your tech. Meanwhile, Kaozfate isn't being greedy. He is, oh my god, he is going for an armory to help support this Widowmine drop. We're gonna have some invisible Widowmines, man. Oh my god. So thankfully, because our Protoss player opened up with a fast robo, we already have detection. If I quickly check though, okay, yeah, we already have observers, so detection isn't a big deal here. Like, these Widowmines aren't going to be as valuable as they otherwise would have been, just because of the openers. Like, if Dijovi had gone for like a Twilight Council instead, like, he would be in a bit of trouble, but he's okay. Meanwhile, yo, he's chasing the probes! He's chasing the probes! He doesn't notice! Oh my god, no! Oh god! Ooh. 5 in total to go down. Kaozfate being so cheeky, chasing down those probes. Thankfully, Dijovi did notice. He did notice. Oh god. And he is coming back home with the observers. The observer is a little bit out of position though. Oh god, he's gonna get another shot off. Another one. Oh god. Oh no. 5 more probes go down. Meanwhile, this one resets as well. Again, this observer is just not in the best position. I'm sure the Dijovi thought he dealt with it, and now the second observer is also going into the main base. The War Prism! Another shot goes off. Thankfully, the War Prism has enough health to survive a Widowmine shot, but Jesus Christ. Kaozfate doing so much with so little. And my apologies, I was talking about a fast Colossus. We do not have fast Colossus. We have War Prism speed on the way. We have disruptors. And this is scary for Dijovi because he's relying a lot on this War Prism to survive, especially with that War Prism speed, but it's got so low health because of that Widowmine shot. Alright, here we go. He's sending it across the map. He's looking to harass with this disruptor. Unfortunately, only 1 disruptor. Typically, we do this with 2 disruptors. So a little bit of a wonky opening here from Dijovi. I'm sure a lot of it has to do with the Widowmine drop and losing all those probes. Meanwhile, he's looking to sneak into the main base, and Chaos scouted this, by the way. Maybe he would have assumed that it was going to be fast. Oh my god, fast Colossus, but the disruptor goes off! No reaction, oh my god. 7 Marines go down, and a nice shot on that tank as well. Dijovi fighting back. And he's not going to go down without a fight here. Already getting some value with that War Prism, with that disruptor. And there's always a chance that he can get another shot off as well. As he's just diving across the map again. Let's go. He has to be careful. Again, this time, Kaozfate, he's paying a little bit more attention. God, oh god, there's a War Prism. Oh god. Wow, he saves the disruptor again. And gets 3 more Marines and 5 Marauders. And again, because it's alive, he can get another shot off. Oh my god. What I will say is that, oh god, the War Prism has been scouted, and despite this, Kaozfate, he still has a very terrifying army. The disruption goes off, but we have a disable. Everything will get picked off, and now Kaozfate is sending his army across the map. What do we have to defend? We have 1 Colossus, extended thermal lance just finished up. We do have a couple of sentries, so he can force field the ramp. He can try and slow down this Terran army. But he's so far back, he's not going to be able to force field. Oh my god. Kaozfate, he gets up the ramp, and he has enough energy for another disable. And that's exactly what he does. Only 1 Colossus left to defend, but the tank will fall. It looks like our Protoss player does just barely have enough to push away Kaozfate. Oh, has to be careful. We do have a couple of Widowmines spread out here, so yeah, Dijovi has to be careful with how he maneuvers his army. He's committing to this attack, by the way. He's sending his army across the map. It does get scanned. Kaozfate is well aware of where it's positioned. Doesn't have any tanks, though. Is relying on mainly Widowmines. God, as he just barely pushes away the army of Dijovi. Throws down some force fields. But yo, a massive doom drop. Oh. Okay. That was crazy. Kaozfate wanted to chase that down, but in the end, he thinks better of it. Instead, he takes the fourth and goes for a smaller drop across the map. Again, not really feeling it. What I will say is that Kaozfate, his macro has just been unstoppable. Like, again, just look at the soup, look at that supply. Even though it feels like Dijovi has been trading a little bit better when it comes to the army engagements, he's just being left behind a little bit. Like, he's still not fully saturated on 3 bases. Like, he still doesn't have the gateway count he needs. They're on the way, but they're not done yet. He's actually trying to sneak out a Dark Shrine, which will help, definitely. Meanwhile, here we go. Another Widowmine drop into the main base. The High Templar! The High Templar, no! Ooh, they get turned into Archons at the last moment, but the Widowmine shall still go off in the mineral line. Meanwhile, we have more Widowmines here in the main. Oh my god, that drag. 13 probes go down. These are losses that Dijovi cannot sustain. And meanwhile, just quickly checking the vision of our Terran player here. The Dark Shrine has been scouted. Kaozfate knows. He's still got a Raven with his army. He should have plenty of energy for scans. We still don't see missile turrets, so maybe he didn't click on it. Maybe he doesn't know 100%, but the Widowmines are going to get more shots off. Not the biggest shots, but 6 probes still go down. And we still have Widowmines here at the 3rd. Oh my god. Beautiful anti-armor missile on a lot of this gateway army. We do have a blink forward though. Oh god, I don't know if this is the right move, but storms are landing on the main army. Is it going to be enough? The Marauders are pushing through the Stalkers, and GG gets called. Kaozfate takes the series 2-0. Congratulations, Kaozfate. Again, he is one of the best Terrans in Latin America. And he proves that here by 2-0ing his opponent.